Here we are. It's another game from the Masters Coliseum Group A. This time it's MaxPax and it's Gumiho. And I'm told that this series is absolutely incredible. MaxPax, of course, the best Protoss player in the world. Gumiho looking really solid as well. So on the bottom right for the intros, it's Gumiho. And in the upper left in the blue, we let the music run out. That's fine. It's MaxPax. And look at this, out of Gumiho. It's not a proxy, but it's not a proxy. This is a build that we saw Gumiho and really all Terrans playing around with as the, not last Katowice, so about 6 months ago, but the previous Katowice. There was this idea that you're going to want to go and proxy your barracks on the map, but you know, it's not truly a proxy. It's just close enough to make the Protoss player feel a little bit worried, feel a little bit uncertain about how the game's going to go, and you get the Reaper across the map a little faster, but really it is all about that denial of scouting. And if you're gonna Macarax a little bit, you might as well go and make this go a little bit further forward. So for now, that is what we see Gumiho going for. MaxPax, of course, will scout that something is amiss, that there is in fact no barracks in the wall, that there is, well, actually that Gumiho's taking double gas. So putting 2 and 2 together here, MaxPax should be able to realize that, yeah, you know, there is some sort of proxy on the map. There are likely some sort of proxy barracks on the map, especially seeing this factory go down at the timing that he sees it at. But unfortunately, he's not going to know much more than that. He's not really going to be able to see exactly what's on the map here, where it is, what he's dealing with. So for now, MaxPax, he sees the barracks is only going to produce a single Reaper here before, well, the probe returns. So yeah, the probe goes down, but in fairness, this is a scout. This is really everything MaxPax needed early on. But of course, before we get into this series too much, we got distracted by Gumiho proxying on the map and doing all sorts of interesting things. Well, I'd like to remind you all that if you want more of this, if you want more high tier Starcraft games, pretty much every day of the week, you should hit the sub button, because that is just about what happens here. Just as certain as MaxPax moves out on the map with his stalkers and with his zealots, it's certain that you will get awesome games on this channel. So hit the sub button as MaxPax now goes up onto the natural here. Of course, Gumiho playing safe, wants to make sure that he has that command center on the high ground because he proxied and because his production is slowed down just a little bit. So now that means that MaxPax on this pressure here, maybe he's going to get a little bit more. But remember, with the Widowmine here, you're going to have to soak some damage, MaxPax is, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to stack a Stalker, doesn't want to stack a Zealot, and that means that for now, MaxPax just has to sit on the low ground. It's pressure, certainly. It's denial of space, certainly, but it's not the end of the world. Behind this MaxPax, he's got that Stargate on the way, so he will be able to move into actually Phoenix play behind this. I like this for MaxPax right now. What this means is any sort of follow-up pressure, and you can be certain that Gumiho is going to follow up out of this. You can't go for the proxy Reaper and then run across the map and really find no value and not get anything else. So you can be certain that Gumiho is going to drop off this. He's got the medevac right now. There are 3 Widowmines on the map here. So he's going to run across the map with this, and getting these Phoenix out early, what it really means is that this drop shouldn't get much of anything done. MaxPax should be ready for it. Is now with the Widowmines gone, he can put pressure on the natural. Meanwhile, Reaper runs a beeline into the main base. And for now, it's not going to get that much done here. Phoenix are getting dropped out as the drop finds its way into the main base as well. How good are your lifts, MaxPax? He's going to get 1 lift. He's going to get 2. Third Widowmine burrows up here. The target fire should be on the Stalker, so that's going to be a dead Stalker. Damage on the Phoenix as well, but not a ton. And now the Widowmines are going to try to burrow here. One's dead. Second one, it's going to go down very soon. In fact, MaxPax not even going to bother with killing the Phoenix here. It's all, or with using the Phoenix to kill that. He wants to get the medevac. He's not going to get it. But even still, this Widowmine should go down before the burrow happens. Just really not possible. So MaxPax handles this so very well. As meanwhile, Phoenix on the other side, they're looking for a little bit more value. They're going to find the Raven, but they're not going to be able to kill it yet. So for now, it's just going to have to be a Scout. Cyclone wards things back from Gumiho as he's trying to go for some sort of round 2 pressure here with a Raven and a Cyclone and Marines. But we don't have Stim. Stim's not even on the way. It's a single Cyclone. Second one getting added in. but he's adding more Ravens. That's the interesting thing. Against the Stargate opening, MaxPax is going to have to deal with Ravens, which doesn't make a lot of sense. If you want to go for the 1.5 base, the 2 base pressure with these Cyclones and with these Marines, you get Vikings. Damage in the air, you land them, it's more damage on the ground against really the Stalkers. But by adding these 2 Ravens, this doesn't nearly do the same amount of really of anything. So I'm surprised to see Gumiho going for this, but he's going to go regardless. Is now the Phoenix. Okay, they're going to get Marines on the backside here. They get like 1. This feels like it's bought enough time. Stalker's now down on the natural. We have the shield battery ready. First Immortal's out. Second one getting chronoed out here. And more Phoenix getting added in, by the way. He's got 4 now. He's going up to, well, I guess he actually canceled for the moment. Stopped at 4. But this army that MaxPax is making feels really strong against what MaxPax is doing. Meanwhile, the Raven auto turret harass in the main base is getting 5 probes. So that's the damage. That is really the damage that MaxPax has been looking for here. He gets 6 probes. Now, granted, that's a dead Raven. But against the Phoenix play, it's hard to keep your Raven alive anyways, as Phoenix looking for the medevac here, but the lock-ons on the Cyclone say no. Excuse me. You don't get to do that. That is not within your bailiwick. That is not within the power that you have. So for now, MaxPax has stabilized this pressure. It got 5 probes. That's something. Ooh. These are going to be not some free Cyclones. He just lifts up, runs away, makes sure that the lock-ons don't really happen, which is fine. I thought he might be able to get the Cyclones, but just not enough power for now. And meanwhile, behind this MaxPax, he's got probes on the way. He has that quicker 3rd base. He did have to cut probes briefly just to make sure that he was okay. But for now, 3 probes at a time. 2nd Colossus, I believe. No, yeah, 1st Colossus actually out. Extended Thermal Lance on the way. MaxPax is really quickly getting himself into this position where he will be able to get himself into that mid-game. This army that Gumiho is building is not all that great yet. He needs more. And yeah, there's a Raven on the map. And am I blind to it? Where is this Raven? There we go. Okay, hiding back in the mineral line. Yeah, there is a single Raven on the map. But as the numbers start to go higher, that becomes harder and harder to truly deal with. So now we get to see now the MaxPax is stabilized. All right, he's got his 2 Colossus, charges on the way, extended Thermal Lance just about done. Where does he go from here? And it seems like he wants to get aggressive. He doesn't want to let Gumiho get this 3rd base easily. So posturing on the map serves 2 purposes. On the one hand, it denies maybe the 3rd base. It prevents Gumiho from developing his economy the way he would like. The other thing, though, the other powerful idea that MaxPax is going for here is it means Raven energy, if it gets spent, it means it gets spent on Gumiho's side of the map. It means the Colossus will be able to be powerfully defensive when that happens here. These are some great swipes, and now the Raven's gonna go forward. It drops the shutdown on 2. MaxPax can just run away here. Granted, the force fields, they were a little bit early. Gumiho's gonna try to target, get on top of things anyways. This Marauder, well, the Marauders are gonna target the Immortal down. That's a dead Immortal. That's a dead Sentry. But the Colossus, they stay alive. The Raven will fall. And this is, again, it's decent for MaxPax. He didn't want to lose the Immortal. He didn't want to lose those sentries, but it's manageable. And now, on the north side here, Gumiho is going to take the fight, but the Colossus on the high ground are a difficult nut to crack. Meanwhile, Phoenix, they got a couple units, not really getting workers, instead killing off Marines as they start to arrive. And of course, the big target there is when a mine goes off and finds value. EMP is on these Phoenix as well, really making them not all that valid. The big target is the Ghost. If you can get a lift up on a bunch of Ghosts and find your value there and kill off the Ghost here, that takes so much power out of the army of Gumiho. It's not even funny. So for now, Phoenix, just Zealots on the left side, Zealots on the right side here. Cyclones kite them out. Well done. Gumiho, though, he's starting to get to the point where he wants to really be active. He's got his 1-1 upgrades just about done. He has this power spike sitting on 2 Ghosts. He's got all this bio, this Marine Marauder medevac mine. And he wants to put pressure onto MaxPax's force. But I don't know that MaxPax is going to allow him to do so. Meanwhile, the Zealots actually find their way into the natural, into the main base as well here on the drop, on the warp in, and on the run by. So 10 SCVs go down. the entire army, really, of Gumiho has to retreat home. And I love the SimCity, by the way, playing around with the mineral line, making it so that, yeah, the Zealots don't trade quite as well as they would like, as we will see. They're going to get picked up running away. Still, 14 SCVs go down, and the important thing, MaxPax forced this army back home. He did not give Gumiho that push timing that he was wanting, and now, well, a second forge getting added in, +1 armor, about halfway done, blink on the way. MaxPax's army continues to grow, and we get closer and closer to a max out here. Now, that being said, as much as we talk about army growing and all of these issues, the War Prism will fall to the Vikings. MaxPax, he's up about 20 workers. He's up 23 workers, which means that it's a great thing for him. Absolutely, his economy going like gangbusters. But his army is small. It's just a couple Colossus in the middle of the map, a single disruptor here. And this setup from Gumiho on the right side, the left side, if MaxPax doesn't do something, if MaxPax doesn't keep his opponent at home continuously, well, it's going to be a problem. So for now, the Phoenix, they're going to find a medevac, and they're going to knock it right down. Widowmines are going to go off on... Actually, those are going to be really juicy there on Archons, knock down almost all their shields. And on the right side, there's another army here. MaxPax's army is just not big enough, and more importantly, it's not split properly, so he's going to have to recall onto the third. And that keeps that base alive, but again, take a look at the left side here. Gumiho, push me, pull you, left and right side of the map, really trying to capitalize on this 40 army supply lead that he's built for himself right now. It doesn't seem possible that this fifth base is gonna stay alive. And if it does, well, the third base seems destined to fall. In fact, Gumiho, if he gets his druthers, he's gonna get both. But for now, kiting away back to the Widowmines, buying time as the disruptor shot's gonna go out. Gumiho splits, really doesn't take a lot of damage. There's a second shot there though as the Zealots get on top. Massive Widowmines, but MaxPax, at the very least, he's keeping himself safe. 2 Colossus on the right side. He will be able to defend against that army as Gumiho really microing heavily here on the left. And look at what he's doing. This was all about the multitasking just a little bit ago. It was all about making sure that MaxPax couldn't split properly, but now instead it's bringing the army together. Disruptor shot 1 is fantastic, but the second one not enough here. EMPs land. The entire army of MaxPax has to go over, but the base is dead, and the Zealots on the other side, they are not enough. Yes, blink is done in 3 seconds, and really the Viking count's not all that heavy, but MaxPax does have to bring his army together. Here's the Colossus get very, very low. 9 probes go down, make it a couple more. And this is the move that Gumiho was looking for. He just got MaxPax split up. He brought his army together, and MaxPax was not ready for it at all. So now Gumiho, 4 bases to 3. It's still not great, right? You would love to have a 4th base here if you're Gumiho, but at the very least, you make it so the Protoss doesn't go 2 bases on you. Can't quite take advantage of that economic lead quite as much. And MaxPax here, down 60 army supply, wants to make something happen. I mean, he's got a bank. He's got 1,500 minerals in the bank. He can warp in a ton of Zealots, but he's down 2 upgrades. He doesn't have a ton of disruptors here. This army that MaxPax, this economy that MaxPax has is incredible. But his army, it's down 40 supply. It's down 50 supply. MaxPax doesn't feel like he can take this fight. I mean, he gets some big disruptors, maybe. But it's going to take more than that. There's EMPs blanket this army just a little bit. MaxPax has to retreat, and this army on the right side, it's poised to cancel another base. Although MaxPax is posturing over, should be okay with this one. But again, the left side base that I'm worried about, it's the large club. MaxPax, it always seems like his army, his big portion of his army, is dealing with the small part of Gumiho's aggression. And the small portion of MaxPax's army is dealing with the big portion of MaxPax's aggression, which is obviously not how you want it to do. If you're attacking, that's how you want it to be. But if you're defending, you want to keep it equal for the most part here. So for now, MaxPax moves out. The Zealots may be distracting Gumiho a little bit, but Gumiho thinking about that flank, getting ready for it, and maybe going for that counterattack into the gullet of MaxPax. Doesn't seem to know what he wants to do, not yet. But the scans continue to get dropped here, and Gumiho is getting ready for a massive flank. That 4th disruptor joins the fray. There and a fifth Colossus on the map here. There are not enough Vikings, but here comes Gumiho. 360 on every side. Disruptors, they're not going to land just yet, but these 5 Colossus are worth oh so much here. Even as 1 gets targeted down, MaxPax now kites away. Disruptors are good, and more Zealots going to have to warp in, be the wheat to the chaff of this army. Actually, it's going to be Stalkers just a little bit here as SCVs continue to fall. MaxPax has to give this army up anyways, but he has equalized the supply. 91 army supply to 105. Yeah, he loses a base, but he's got another one elsewhere, and these Zealots 13 workers hit the deck. MaxPax's reinforcements, his counterattacking are beautiful in this game. So now 5 bases to 4. Gumiho actually had to lift his main over to this 4th base. So really it's 5 bases to 3. And the Zealot harass, the continued Zealot harass. Gumiho now below 40 SCVs. It's a problem. And that surprise of 5 Colossus play out of MaxPax gave so much power to his army. Now, the Vikings did eventually deal with it, even as small as in number as they were. But they did eventually deal with it. And now that it's only 2 Colossus here, they're not as strong. They do have 2-2, which is something, but 3-3 is done in just about 5 seconds. Plus 3 attack done right now, but disruptors are going to have to be beautiful. And for the moment, they're not. But MaxPax thinks about wedging his way in just a little bit more. But again, Gumiho thinking about that is something died. Not really sure what that was, but something died. Medevac, maybe? I don't know. No, it was Colossus shot it. Anyway, Gumiho getting ready here again for that big surround. His counterattack on the left side, the right side here. MaxPax does have recall. That's going to be available to him as now the Liberators are going to find their way forward. MaxPax does a great job baiting out all the Widowmine shots, so that's not going to happen. Disruptors, well, excuse me, the Liberators will fall, but on the right side, this base will fall. It's going to have to be a recall right now. MaxPax, the Nexus, okay, it goes down, but the recall goes off anyway. Stalkers thinking about it. Are they going to blink forward here, get the medevacs? No, and MaxPax, that's an inopportune setup. That's an inopportune recall because now he loses the base on the left side as well here. Gumiho's multitasking is incredible. MaxPax has this economy, has done such a good job of building it up, but between the upgrades and everything else, MaxPax has found himself ripped asunder here. These disruptors, though, Gumiho's not paying attention. That's a big shot and a bigger one as well. So now 107 army supply to 92. MaxPax 3-3 in 10 seconds. Can you bring your army together here? Can you find that value that you're looking for? Because right now, those disruptors forward were asking to get sniped. But MaxPax got enough of the army that it was going to be okay. And again, I'd like to remind you all that despite the fact that MaxPax just lost 2 bases, now granted, one of them only had 4 mineral patches, but despite that fact, MaxPax still has better economy. He's mining just a little bit more once these mules end because Gumiho, he's only on 3 orbitals, 5 mineral patches in the 3rd, nothing mining out of the main. He doesn't really have that healthy of an economy. So MaxPax, his economy is still going to be, it's not as good as it was, but it's still going to be okay. Gumiho just doesn't want to take the pitch battle. That's the response here. Whenever MaxPax move forward, send half your army onto the other side of the map. Send it, dive deep, make sure that this base gets canceled once again. The Zealot warping, yeah, it's not going to be enough. And again, that's going to be a cancel. More Zealots will fall, but MaxPax this time, he's going to get an orbital. It's only 2 now. Only 2 available. Gumiho, though, goes now for the true base trade and recall. It's not available here. Just about 10-15 seconds until that's maybe a little bit longer until that's available. MaxPax, he's gonna get a 2nd orbital right now. Only 1 on the map. Do we have a Dark Shrine? Answer's no. So you don't have invisibility. That will not be invincibility in this game. But recall is going to be ready soon enough here. MaxPax just buying time for that one. Scan gets dropped on the high ground. Gumiho realizes there's nothing here. But MaxPax, actually, he's going to beeline back home. He knows what he needs to do here. That while the Marauders will fall, if he can get good disruptors, that's going to be everything. But for now, that's a big one. That's a massive shot right now. This is fantastic for MaxPax, but he got to find more. He has to chase this army down. Although, as I say that, he doesn't really. Gumiho is barely mining. MaxPax at least has that natural, but look at the reinforcements. Look at this round coming on in from Gumiho right now. Disruptor on the left side, not going to land. Colossus micro backwards. They get the army on the right side. It will fall. And now Gumiho, he thought he had the flank there. He thought it was worth doing, but it's just not. And these Colossus standing oh so very strong. The Vikings go down. They're so low. The Colossus are, but they're going to be good enough. And MaxPax, 6 more Zealots on the way, continues to reinforce. He's long distance mining for the right side base. He really doesn't have much, but it's more than Gumiho has. That's the long and short of it. It really is more than Gumiho has. So MaxPax now. He's got some energy left. He's got some shields back up on these Colossus. Thinks about going forward. Big swipes there. Every little bit is fantastic. These medevacs, actually, they're pretty out of energy as well here. So this is going to be the last fight out of Gumiho right now. MaxPax brings the Zealots in, and this is going to have to do it here. Gumiho played an incredible game, but MaxPax, he takes our first game in this series, and what a game it was. My goodness. MaxPax, he's up 1. And now we find our way into game number 2 here after an incredible, drawn-out slobber knocker of a game 1. So in the upper right, looking to send us to game 3, it's Gumiho. And to the bottom left in the blue, in this former team kill, he's up 1. Masterful gameplay. It's MaxPax. Remember, that all started with a proxy. Granted, you know, it's not the big proxy. It's not the whole, well, hey, let me go and proxy on your side of the map and 2 barracks and have fun. Reapers in your main. It's the, I just don't want you to scout what I'm doing at first. Maybe you build a zealot that you didn't have to. Maybe you miss a probe just a little bit. I don't know. It's the small things. Not nearly as impactful as a true proxy would have been, but Gumiho just trying to set his opponent off a little bit. And as I alluded to in the intro, we do have to remember that MaxPax and Gumiho for the longest time were teammates. They aren't right now. Gumiho, of course, left Psystorm right after Katowice this past February. But before then, they were on the same WTL team. They were on the same just team in general. And I don't know how much they practiced together, and certainly it's been a while, but you got to figure they at least have some familiarity with each other. And of course, they play each other a decent amount in things like EPT Cups and things of that ilk. So for now, makes sense. MaxPax and Gumiho, with that history, with that knowledge of each other, makes sense that we get some good games. So for now, again, we're going to see that command center on the high ground. And this does feel like a little bit of a player counter. This feels like Gumiho playing his opponent instead of playing the race, because he knows MaxPax loves to do exactly what he's doing with his zealot. Get it first anyways, get adepts and maybe or stalkers out of it, and run across the map and maybe cancel a command center. Why not? You know, have a picnic in the natural at the same time. So Gumiho just says, that's fine. I'm going to build my command center in the main. You're not going to find value out of this one. And hey, I'm going to catch your zealot anyways. That sounds like a lot of fun, but look at this. This is a very quick stem here. Gumiho wants to go for something aggressive early on. He's adding Marauders in as well, a second barracks. This is going to be 3-rack stem timing. I think that's going to be the case. And that is something that if MaxPax is not ready for it, it's absolutely going to catch him off guard. Is that actually, you know what? I said 3 racks, 2-1-1. We're actually probably going to be more likely here as the natural is just about done. But for now, MaxPax keeps his zealot alive. The adept's going to run across the map and find that, hey, there is no natural. Now, the addition of a Marauder is interesting because it's hiding. It wants to catch things, but there's no concussive, right? It is just a Marauder. And you know what? Marauders against adepts and zealots, they don't take a ton of damage, but they also don't do a lot. You know, it's just one of these things as, oh, the Reaper's going to go down and the shade out there. Well done, MaxPax. The Marauders, yeah, you know what? They take less damage from adepts. That's fine, but they also don't slow down the adepts and kill them. Gumiho, when he came back from the military, what was it, 1.5 years ago at this point, was playing around with a similar build to this where he was getting concussive into stem. And the entire point of that build was to catch the first couple of adepts that would run across the map, and you would kill them, and you would have all this map control, and it was great. But instead, the Marauders, I guess the value versus Marines is they don't die to adepts, so you don't have to worry about that snowball, and you can take the natural faster, and that makes sense. But it is still a bit interesting, still a little bit weird. So now MaxPax, he's just playing Phoenix Colossus. We saw that in game number 1. Phoenix getting set up here, Robo going down. We're going to see an Immortal or 2 get out, and then get the Robo Bay and move a little bit further from there. There's a world this could be Phoenix Charge or something, but for right now, 3 adepts here, they one-shot SCVs, and with the Phoenix as well, there's a lot of damage potential here. They're ignoring the Marauders because they know they don't do a lot of damage, but the stim is unexpected here, and that will find value. Another SCV? No, it's not going to go down. Phoenix just not high enough in number with these Marines stemmed on top. So the Medivacs, or excuse me, the Phoenix, they're going to be able to get out. Two SCVs go down, but that was for the cost of 2 adepts and a zealot. I think the zealot died earlier though, but not exactly worthwhile there. Cool idea for MaxPax with the 3 adepts to just find value, but he didn't expect the stim. This timing was foreign to him, or at least unexpected to him, and now that means that Gumiho is a little bit happier on the map, a little bit more map control. The Phoenix can't pair themselves with the Adepts to make sure that they just kill off a lot of workers. So instead, MaxPax, he's going to have to rely purely on the Phoenix to harass and have vision and map control and all of these things. And those are useful, absolutely. But not as powerful as stacking 3 Adepts underneath to make sure you get even more value. But this timing from Gumiho right now, his stim is done, by the way. His combat shields are done. He's waiting for concussive shells. He's going to be ready to go at 6 minutes with 2 medevacs, a bunch of bios, some marauders, and this is again going to be a powerful timing coming out of Gumiho. But MaxPax is wise to this. He actually cut a couple corners, did not build a lot of units on the map short of those 3 Adepts, and that means that he got the Robo-Bay quickly. He actually cut Phoenix to make this happen as well. He got the Robo-Bay quickly. The first Colossus is just about halfway done, and remember, there are no Ravens on the field. There's nothing that really deals with this Colossus once it's out on the map, outside of diving on top of it and getting the kill right there. So as this Colossus is ready, MaxPax's army should be in a solid position to defend this push. And he's aware of it, by the way. He sees the army moving out. He gets the SCV that I think wanted to build the base on location on the 3rd. And look at this pylon as well. MaxPax, he's going to cancel it now that he knows where the army is. He just wants to know what angle Gumiho's coming from, whether it's going to be a drop, whether it's going to be a full push at the front, whatever it is. He just wants to know. And because he knows here, the power out of this push from Gumiho is kind of non-existent. The Phoenix, they're just dogging around. They're just seeing exactly what they're going to find. And yeah, you know, if they take some damage, that's fine. They got shields. They can survive this. So Gumiho's going to try to cope. He wants to maybe get the Cyber in a gateway or something that would deny the Reaper Cliff, but Gumiho, well, MaxPax didn't go for that. So that's just another little bit of value that Gumiho can't find. But Gumiho, now he's got 4 medevacs. Now he's got 40 supply here, getting ready to move out on the map, run on through. So the Phoenix on the left side, I'm sorry, I was using the WTL Observer and they just missed that. Phoenix on the left side, one of them goes down, but gets heavy damage. Gets heavy damage. Not even all that heavy damage, actually. That's just a bit of a mistake there from MaxPax. Not quite what you're looking for. And I love how patient Gumiho's being. He very easily could have said, you know what, this is a stim timing. It's a 6-minute stim. I have to stim to win, and that's what I'm going to do. And then lose his army into the Colossus. Instead, he just sits back and looks for whatever small bits of value he can find. Maybe get the Phoenix, something like that. And behind that, he's taking his 3rd. You know, he has +1 armor now. He's adding the armory's a little bit late, but just builds himself up more and more. Is very content to wait for the next timing and the next timing and the next timing. It's not like he has to go right now. Of course, by going for this build, you don't quite skyrocket from 7 to 10 minutes with the supply the way a little bit of a later 3-1-1 would. But again, your 3rd base is well timed. Your +1 armor upgrade is much faster. And that's kind of fine for Gumiho. Again, he doesn't have to move out right now. He just wants MaxPax to make a mistake, to leave the Phoenix in the wrong spot, to get maybe heavily supply blocked by losing 2 pylons, and maybe get a Warp Prism snipe. Very nice there, Gumiho. So he gets a Warp Prism. But again, MaxPax is waiting for timings. He's got Archons getting added in here, which, by the way, that's an unfortunate timing, because Ghosts are now going to hit the field very quickly, as pretty much as soon as these Marauders are done. So the Archons aren't all that great, but this is a nice fight for MaxPax here. He wished his Charger was done. It was done right now. But even still, there we go. Phoenix on the lift. One's going to get sniped, and MaxPax here, very happy with this position, with this fight that he was able to take. The left side as well, going to be really nice. And he can hit this timing before Ghosts are really done. They're starting to get made right now, the first 2 of them. But MaxPax has this army. He's equal on army supply. Got to be careful on the flank from the left side here. It's a little dangerous, Gumiho, but the Zealots on the left side, they're going to be able to buffer for it. Archon's actually getting effective damage. And now MaxPax can bring his army together here. 3 Phoenix. Well, actually more than that, but 3 Colossus, 2 Archons, a bunch of Zealots. And because this is Royal Blood, because the map is short, he can just reinforce across the map here. Although I think he does have a Warp Prism. Yeah, he did get another Warp Prism on the right side. Gumiho's not ready. He's got his first Viking is on the way right now. He's not even reactoring it out. He was not ready for this push. His timing didn't work out here. And this is the problem when you go for this build that Gumiho did. That's the one angle that the Protoss really can look to lean into. And it's the fact that you just do not have answers to 3 Colossus, not for a while, especially with the Phoenix on the map as well. You almost have to go 2 Starport Viking to be really happy about it, or to be committing to it for a while. And that's just not a thing that's happening here. So now Ghost thinking about going forward here. The trigger, Gumiho thought about pulling it, but not yet. And EMPs, they blanket the army just a little bit more. Now, SCVs are going down the 4th base, and that was maybe too greedy for Gumiho. It's going to have to get canceled. But 2-2 done right now. This is the time that Gumiho is looking for. This is how he wants to collapse, but MaxPax pulls the fight early. He triggers the fight early, takes half the army down, and now Gumiho is going to try to do it once again, but this army is so low, and the Archons just buffer long enough. Army on the left side dead. 3 Colossus still here, still firing, and MaxPax takes a hell of a fight. He just triggers it before it's ready. Gumiho, despite having that 2-2 timing, it's not enough at all. And the 3 Colossus are still here. The Zealots on top of everything as well. Gumiho tried to go for the 6-minute timing. He tried to be aggressive against the defensive, the stalwart play that we saw from MaxPax, and it's just not enough at all. The Widow Mines are going to be fantastic, sure, but Gumiho's cutting away from his base at this point. Deputize Zealots into the natural MaxPax. That's all you got to do here. The reinforcements will not be enough, and this game is going to go MaxPax here. Yeah, you know what? He did lose to Serral, but that doesn't matter because everything else, he takes down Maru, he takes down Gumiho in this Group A, and MaxPax is putting himself in a wonderful position to make sure he gets 2nd place in Group A here. EMPs are nice, absolutely, and the reinforcements, they're going to have to do something magical for Gumiho. But again, MaxPax is not fighting the entire army at the same time. He's fighting half of it. The SCV's pulled on the left side here. It's a full surround, but MaxPax gently micros the Colossus away, saves them. And now only 1 remains, but it doesn't matter because the Zealots are here and they clean up the rest. MaxPax, the micro is beautiful, but the macro even more so. MaxPax takes the 2-0 here over Gumiho. And what an insane series from our Danish Protoss. What an incredible series. But of course, if you like this and you want more top tier StarCraft, MaxPax, Serral, Beyond Maru, make sure to hit that sub button because they're going up every single day of the week. And of course, also let me know, what do you want to see out of Gumiho different? What makes him win this series instead of that 2-0 for MaxPax? And of course, like the video as well. Why not? That helps too. But I'll see y'all next time. Until then, stay safe.